Want to know everything from new stores, roller coasters, and sales in Universal Studios Orlando? Well, stick around for you're watching Winu, your weekly Universal news and updates. But let's not continue on for an introduction to the video and get straight into it with my first topic. We interrupt your first topic to bring you some breaking news. Now, another VelociCoaster teaser trailer was released. It shows us a little more of the POV that you're going to see a bit more in the next topic. And also when looking, we can see that raptors in containment and a paddock can be seen. This will confirm my suspicions for a theme that you're going to see later in the video, which is about the scene that I believe that this ride is based off of. However, the huge thing that this video revealed that I'm very excited about is the opening date. This revealed that the opening date for the VelociCoaster is June 10th, and that is really, really soon. That is 2 months away, which is just insane how close it is. If you're as excited as I am, tell me in the comments, and I'm gonna stop interrupting your video and go ahead and show you the first topic right here. City Walk, which is actually a brand new topic to my channel. However, I have a bit of a doozy for this one, hence why it's starting us off. So, starting off early in the week was a bit of an uneventful thing. On Tuesday, walls around the studio store were taken down. Now, just for some backstory, because I haven't reported on this, a studio store has been working on in City Walk for quite a while now, and construction has been going on and was only recently revealed. However, walls were finally taken down for it, so there's your context for why this is such a big deal. Then the store would open on Thursday. Now, this store features a partial pickup and fitting room, neither of which are currently operational. Now, this is a big deal because no other store in Universal actually has a fitting room or a parcel pickup. I believe that a parcel pickup is going to be a thing which they already do in the parks, but I think that they're just putting a more fancy version of it, where when you buy a souvenir, you can give it to the cast member with some sort of form of identification, and then they'll put it at the parcel pickup at the end of the day, so you don't have to carry souvenirs with you through the entire park. Also, the store has 5 rooms. One of these is the checkout room that has a projector ring on the roof. Now, the big thing about this projector ring is that it showed us a real-time POV of the top hat of the VelociCoaster, along with just some general footage. Now, this is huge because all that we've actually had is computer renditions, which shows that some of the hot set filming that we've had is for this video. Just due to the fact that they're even giving us this shows how close we are to this ride opening. And I do want to remind you, it is a couple months. Don't think it's like next week to opening. Another room in the store is a Harry Potter wand room, which has a ceiling with constellations on it of the house mascots. Now, obviously, it's a wand room, and you can buy all your wands here. These also have spinning wand stands, so you can look at all of the wands. And next to that Harry Potter room is another bigger Harry Potter room. Now, this one actually has Christmas trees in it, which is actually quite common for the Wizarding World, which we could definitely see in the Holiday Tribute store. Trees just simplify Harry Potter, and therefore they get put wherever Harry Potter goes. Also, a complete another part of the store is just a big candy section. It features most of the candy that you can find in the parks, and it's all on this one big wall and area. And this is just a dream. The suites at Universal are amazing, and though they don't have anything top end here, they definitely have your grab and goes. Also, for dedicated parts of the store, an entire wall is dedicated to graphic t-shirts. Now, this contributes a ton of new tees that include Universal, SpongeBob, Popeyes, Minions, Shrek, The Incredible Hulk, Harry Potter, and Jurassic Park t-shirts. Most of these are standard graphic tees with your general puns that come with the theme park shirts. Also, just a smaller thing, but the store features a Harry Potter pressed penny machine. I do not know if this one's more expensive or not. I believe it is, because there are ones you can get in the parks that are 51 cents. unless if they got rid of those, but I believe they're still there. And I believe that this one cost $1. So this one's probably a collectible coin machine, whereas the other ones are the cheaper ones that don't go away. On the outside of the store, we can see that window displays for the store not only show merchandise, but blueprints for popular things in the parks too. These include the Islands of Adventure Lighthouse, the Studio Arches, Marvel's Superhero Island, Despicable Me, and Springfield, which is actually for the Quickie Mart. Now, more blueprints can also be found in the store, all for different rides like Hagrid's or anything else. So obviously this is a universal overall theme, and I love this decor. I think it makes the store feel really good. Also, another wall art with VelociCoaster merchandise has a picture of the ride's Raptors and track logo. Now, this is just stereotypical now because it's kind of the VelociCoaster's image, but it is behind the VelociCoaster line window display. So obviously, with this new store, it released a variety of new merchandise. This includes Hogwarts leggings, a t-shirt for every house, hats for every house, sweatshirts for every house, a Dumbledore quart line that includes 4 each of coasters, mugs, displays, notebooks, and throw pillows, 1 for each of the 4 quotes. There is also a platform 9 3/4 metal sign, a I solemnly swear that I am up to no good sign, a Hogwarts wood sign, a metal Hogwarts sign, mischief managed sign, a lenticular serious black wanted sign, 2 types of Hogwarts tall glasses, Hogwarts normal glasses, 2 different Hogwarts mugs, Hogwarts stemless glasses, Hogwarts shakers, Hogwarts platter plates, Hogwarts plates, Hogwarts house bowls, glasses for each house, coasters for each house, and plates for each house. I know that that is a ton of merchandise, but it's all there for the Potterheads, it's all new, and it's all only in the store. It might be distributed around by the time this video is out, however, at the time of making this, it is all in that store. So that is everything that has to do with that store, and is also everything that I have that has to do with City Walk. However, new stuff is definitely not as an end, as we can see some more hype for the upcoming VelociCoaster in my next topic. Construction, where it seems that the VelociCoaster testing has taken it even a step further. So, as I just said, the VelociCoaster did testing. It did both rollback and general testing, multi-car testing, and testing with people on it. It had done a ton of testing, and it has been doing this a lot recently because they're getting ready for this ride to be opened in a couple of months. However, when testing, Raptor sounds were heard, meaning that the carts could have speakers, or there are speakers around the ride. And by this, I mean, for example, on the Incredible Hulk, there is speakers in the actual cart to play the music, and you hear it while you're doing inversions and everything. But because of the way the VelociCoaster works, they could just have speakers around the ride. I'm not sure which is which. I'd have to hear it for myself while there to know. Also, when listening to testing, we can now hear Chris Pratt voicing Owen's dialogue lines. I can make out is "Paddock's ready." It sounds a lot like the scene of Jurassic World when they let the Raptors go with Owen to fight the Indominus Rex. Now, if you don't know the scene, it's probably one of the most famous scenes of Jurassic World, but Owen goes on his motorbike to fight the Indominus Rex or the Raptors, and they let them out of their paddock free. This sounds a lot like this scene, and though I don't think it's an exact replica, I think it's going to have the same idea, except instead of it being Owen, it's you. Now, also during this testing, we saw some smaller things. For example, trains for the VelociCoaster were properly numbered. There was 5 trains, 4 to run, and a 5th to back up. Now, by properly numbered, I just mean that the carts have some more complete-looking numbers on them, and they have already been numbered for a while. However, we can definitely see now that there's 5 carts, and this is going to run 4 at a time. Near the waterfront, red flowers were added. Now, this isn't anything crazy, it's more just to add to the decoration, but it definitely adds some colors against the black and green that most of this ride has been taking on. It looks quite nice in my opinion. So apparently some people really like those flowers because promotional photography happened on the site, along with filming that made a hot set by Mythos. Now, this is hopefully for the VelociCoaster reveal video or whatever, but they've been doing a good amount of this recently, and we've started getting results. We have the pictures of the carts from a while ago, we have the thing that's in the studio store that I told you about earlier in the video. There is so much stuff, and it all works out. And I'm excited to see what they're filming and taking pictures of, that's for sure. By the VelociCoaster lockers, a new locker pay station decal was added to the lockers. Now, this is where you pay for them, I believe, and it's just, well, it would make sense. It confirms that these are paid lockers, which we basically already knew, because Universal does not provide lockers this big for free. You only get the smaller ones, and you have to pay for ones like these while you ride. Also, later in the week, some team members were seen working on the back side of the locker panels. No clue what they're doing here, as much as I'd love to tell you all about it. However, they're obviously working on the wiring and things in the back of the lockers that make them work. As for some stuff I can tell you about, bone details were added to the walls that were painted over last week with beige. This is just making them look more textured and bony, which is exactly what you want to do if you happen to be painting bones. However, that's not where the bones end, as another one was painted over like this one. However, the wall behind it was not repainted, just the bones were, and these ones are a bit of a different color, which is interesting, but they're kind of a more realistic color, whereas the other ones aren't. As for some more sad news, the final Barney sign was taken down and replaced with a restroom sign. This is by Kids Zone, because that's where Barney was, and this was the final sign that showed where it was, and it has been removed now, meaning that the only thing left of Barney is the outside of the attraction, which has been not walled off, but curtained off for some of the major parts. Also, some new Coca-Cola freestyle machines appeared near Springfield. This is nothing huge, they're just a couple freestyle machines. However, these have been popping up around the parks recently, and there's more of them here. So if you need a drink, you have a place to get on your Springfield now. Okay, so in my intro, I mentioned some of the good things that you'll see in this video. However, something a little bit more not so good happened to Universal, which I'm going to go ahead and cover in my next topic. General news, where this week Universal has actually been sued. The original ride company for Jimmy Fallon's Race Through New York filed a lawsuit against Universal. This is because near the end of the ride's construction, Universal wanted to change the ride and change to a different company. The company filed a lawsuit against Universal for over $5 million in unpaid bills. Now, as much as I'd love to comment on this, I actually don't know all of the nitty-gritty of this case, and I can't defend anybody. Normally I'd be on Universal's side, however, because I don't know much about this, I'm not going to make up my mind on something as big as this. So I'm just going to go ahead straight on to the next update. As for some less serious things, Prime parking price is now $50, which is $10 more than its original $40 price. Realistically, I'm just telling you this right now, I would not get Prime parking. It's not worth it, because it's just walking a little bit more. If you need something for like handicap, you can get special handicap parking. Prime parking, for at least in my opinion, is just extra money for something you don't really need. You're going to be doing a ton of walking anyways. Might as well just add a little bit more onto it. Obviously, if you disagree, do whatever you want, but just saying. Now, Ollivanders went to a reservation-based system. Starting at 8 a.m., cast members stood outside the store and gave people times to go. You have a 5-minute period to appear for your time after it comes. This is actually super useful as it prevents people from lining up outside, which is how this was normally done, especially before the pandemic. However, now, a time-based system is good, and the fact that they only give you 5 minutes, though it's very tight, it also means that spots may open up every now and then, if they're doing it that way, so just be ready for that if you don't get a reservation in the morning. Finally, the parks had capacity on Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. They would reopen each day, but obviously spring break crowds are not gone yet. However, I can tell you that those crowds are going to be absolutely nothing compared to when this event happens that we're going to go ahead and talk about for my next topic. Halloween Horror Nights, where man, I love that I get to report for stuff for Halloween in April. I love it. So this week, an area of a house that we do not know had a tarp removed from over it. It is not recognizable by any standard, it just shows some scare zones. Now, this is nothing major. We don't know what house it is. We don't know if it's one that's been revealed, like the Puppet Captive Audience or Beetlejuice. We don't know if it's a new one. We really don't know anything about it. We just know that this is here, and this is more than likely going to be part of Halloween Horror Nights, either 30 or 31, depending on how they want to label it. So Halloween Horror Nights brings a legion of treats with it, and though these aren't here yet, we can go ahead and still talk about treats in my next topic. Food and restaurants for our signature cinnamon sticks have been extended. So this week, a new sea salt s'mores churro became available in Jurassic Park. This is a churro that is half covered with sea salt, marshmallow fluff, mini marshmallows, chocolate chips, and crushed up graham crackers. I have to say, this actually sounds pretty good, and I think it would be a fun thing to try. And since churros are nothing new to Universal, without even trying, I think it would be a good thing to recommend. So people who actually try all these churros have to be in the parks a lot, and we can take a look at some updates for people who happen to be in the parks a lot in my next topic. Universal Orlando annual Passholder news. So this week there's only one update, and you might be able to tell as April just began. So the new April button was released, and it references Birdie Bot's every flavor beans. The back of the cardboard for it also says,
I lost. Earwax.
And it also says, if you have never experienced the flavor of an earthworm, soap, or vomit-flavored candy, have you even lived? I can tell you from trying these, you probably have parts of you that die inside from eating these, so yes, you've definitely lived. But let's not worry about ULAP pins, and talk about all the things that can be obtained by the general public in my next topic. Merchandise, where VelociCoaster news does not end. So, this week, a VelociCoaster baseball hat became available. The front of the hat has scratches and the names of the coaster. The side of the hat has the T-Rex logo and Universal Orlando Resort on it. And the underside of the brim has the coaster's stats. This is a pretty cool hat, and I like the creativity of putting the stats on the brim, which is where they've been putting stats on everything else, so they had to put it somewhere on this hat too. As for a sale, Mardi Gras masks and lanyards are now buy one get one 50% off. Last week, masks were buy one get one, so when sales like this come up, you have to get them immediately, or they can switch like this one, where now it's buy one get one 50% off, not buy one get one free. Finally, the online store added VelociCoaster tank tops and 2 different VelociCoaster t-shirts, along with Mardi Gras masks. All of them can be seen on your screen at the moment. Now, these are all just general things that they add, and it's good to see that they're adding more VelociCoaster merchandise and more Mardi Gras merchandise. I cannot wait for this coaster to open. So that's everything that I could find in Universal Studios Orlando this week. I hope that you liked it quite a bit, and I know that this is a longer video, so if you're actually here, you're a living legend. Thanks for watching. However, this video is now 19 minutes long, which is going to make it my second longest video, I believe. And as much as I'd love to stretch it to 20 minutes, a minute of an outro is a bit too much. So I'm going to go ahead and end it here and say thank you so much for watching, but now, this is Wunu signing off.